Hello, listeners. How are you? My name is Charles Scott Sr., and it's time to own. That's what we talk about, real estate. But I'm here with my son, Charles Scott Jr.
How you guys doing? And the show's called Can We Talk? And like I said, go back on Twitter, TikTok, Facebook. You get links to previous episodes we have done. And like I said, this show's about real estate mainly, but we talk about other things that affect the economy also.
And there's a lot of things going on with the economy.
Yes.
That's for sure. Since we have a new administration, a lot of the news is all about the economy. It's all about prices, all about real estate.
Yes.
And, you know, it's amazing, but real estate has taken up a big portion of what's going on out there because I'd say almost 70% of the conversation is affordability. People have to have a place to live. What is it? Food, shelter, and clothing, right?
I was going to say, yeah, people do this when you're searching for information about low income or affordable housing. The main word people use now is called workforce housing. Type in workforce, you'll see a lot more articles and media outlets using that instead of saying affordable housing or low income. Workforce housing sounds more, I'll say, politically correct. And we're seeing a lot more people talking about the need for workforce housing in cities and localities.
Now, we've been doing this for quite a bit of years. I've been in the business almost about 40 years.
Yes, this is your 40th year.
This is my 40th anniversary. And my son's been in the business for quite a while.
About 16 years.
16 years, so we've got almost 60 years of experience here. As far as looking into real estate, we've been on this program here for quite a while. We have over 100 episodes that you can go back, and you know, they're not really timed out because they're all about the basic economics of home ownership and some of the things that can help you in your daily life. If you're just tuning in, then maybe you should, get a pen and pencil or tell your friends about the program. We come on once a week, but you can go back and research YouTube, look up a lot of our past episodes.
I was going to say, people don't watch TV anymore. You're on Facebook, right? You're on YouTube, you're on TikTok, you're streaming this probably right now. But also what we want to talk about today is not just the programs, the time to own, about what we're heading into what we call the spring market. This is like the Super Bowl for real estate. So people are coming out looking for homes. I was just at an open house this past Sunday. A lot of people were there. The weather's breaking, so we're going to see how this market comes.
Yeah, what we're experiencing, you probably could talk about a little bit more, is because you've been going to some of the open houses.
Oh yeah, I've been to a lot of open houses.
So give the public, before things sort of slowed down. It was the winter. We didn't really have that bad of winter. It was more cold than anything else. But now spring is on the horizon. Maybe you can tell the people out there a little bit about what's happening. And as cold as it is still, people are having open houses. Usually you find that to be a summer thing or spring thing. You see, but people are getting a jump.
Oh yeah, I would say spring has sprung as far as, these interest rates are not scaring people away. Like I said in a previous episode, interest rates can become normalized where 7%, 6.5% is going to become the normal. I mean, people who wait on the sidelines cannot wait forever. They have to go in there and buy a house eventually, whether it be them moving to a new career, moving because of school, the kids moving out, they need to downsize. So real estate needs to move. So as we're seeing in the spring market now, which is just the very tip, today's just March 2nd, we're seeing a lot of open houses. I went to the last couple weeks, I went to 3 open houses, and I'm seeing a lot of people there as far as the investors also, not just people looking for homes.
What's happening, rents are going up. This is motivating, especially the first-time home buyers and the people that are renting. So if you're out there, like we get a lot of calls for people that are looking to rent, and a lot of people haven't really rented in 10 years, 12 years. So they are sort of like in a little sticker shock when they find out how much the new rents are. And don't expect that to go down at all. It's going to continue to go higher and higher. Yep. We're dealing with the basic economics of supply and demand.
Especially this area, Fairfield County, a very unique area where we have the New Yorkers, New Jersey. I'm talking people from New Jersey a lot who are coming here now, not just people from New York, who find that Bridgeport, Fairfield County, Stratford in general is a great place to live. And not only do they live here, they'll keep their jobs in New York and just become commuters.
Well, one of the things about Connecticut, we have diversity.
Yes, but a lot of diversity.
We have a lot of areas that people can relocate to, and it doesn't really take that long to get to one place to the other in the state of Connecticut. I mean, You could live in a place like New Haven. And from New Haven, you can go to Hartford within half an hour, 25 minutes. You can come to Bridgeport, 15 minutes.
Correct.
I had to go on an appointment yesterday into East Haven.
East Haven, yeah.
All the way to East Haven from Bridgeport, Fairfield County into East Haven, across what we call the Q Bridge up 95. You know, I put it in the, GPS. Took me 25 minutes to get there. So you figure a person living over there that works here, or a person in Danbury, you know, with the cities being in proximity to each other, and we got, if you're listening to this from out of town, we've got Interstate 84 East, 84 West,
I-95,
I-95, I-91. So we have a lot of interstate highways that you can just jump up and jump back down into a different city within the state of Connecticut. Connecticut's not all that large a state. It's not like Texas or California.
Oh, no.
You know.
We're the third smallest state in the United States.
So you look on the map, you see all these big states, and you know, if you didn't know where Connecticut was, you would have trouble finding it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's a little tiny dot between, right after New York and Massachusetts.
And we're between New York City and Boston, so we get a lot of traffic. A lot of people drive through Connecticut to get where they're going, but people are realizing they're stopping around here and say, hey, this is a place to live, you know, actually very affordable from where they're coming from.
Yeah, I mean, you have, it's what you make of it, you know. We've got major cities like New Haven, Hartford, we got Bridgeport, we got Waterbury, we got Danbury, and as far as the affordability, we call it the Valley, but we got the little towns that come down from Fairfield County, such as Shelton, Derby, Seymour, Ansonia. These are established towns that for hundreds of years, the people, you know, worked there, and they worked in the mills, the old people that are retired, the old factories that are no longer useful, but the factories, a lot of them have gone away, but the people are still living there, and they still have the older housing stock. You don't have big, huge subdivisions of 50 houses being built.
I was going to say, not yet. There's some articles I read the other day. New Britain, I believe it was New Britain. They're going to start tearing down a lot of those factories and make way for some type of housing there. So we're seeing that the investors are moving towards the valley. So that's a lot of my customers are also looking for affordability, going to Seymour, Ansonia. There's some great finds out there.
Yeah, like, you know, the factories that they're tearing down, a lot of these are being built back up into, you know, workforce housing. We need housing. We need more housing for the people that have gone to college and come back and want to stay at home. And because the price of the homes has elevated, sometimes the people cannot afford single family, 2-bed, 3-bedroom house with a garage. So we have a lot of, market rate housing that's going to be coming online.
Oh, yes.
Whether it be, and even now they're talking about some of the shopping plazas, turning them into apartment buildings.
Oh, yeah. I mean, not to say that's similar, but you've seen that in Trumbull where they built the condos right next to the mall, which kind of benefits both right there. They can get the traffic right there. And we're seeing in some other cities, like you said, they're turning the actual malls into
the mall itself,
a condo or some type of luxury apartment.
And making the sort of the mall and the people that live there right around, and all your services there. You know, doctors' offices, dentists, your taxes, your accountants. And you know, you have your swimming pool, you have pickleball court, whatever it may be. You know, and you know, and what do you call it? The doggy grooming services.
Yes.
Doggy daycare. They even got doggy daycare and got daycare for the children. So they're like little separate communities in themselves. Because you have a mall and they have maybe parking for 500, 600 cars. So they don't need all that space.
And with more people shopping online, you're seeing a lot of these, what they call anchor stores, they're closing down and not coming back, especially in the larger malls.
So there's a lot of transformation that's occurring, and you're going to see even more of it. We do have a governor who is putting a lot of emphasis on housing and affordability. So that's a good thing. In Connecticut, we got a stable economy. The budget has a surplus, and they're trying to. Right now, the legislature is meeting as to how to best use the surplus to have everlasting effect, maybe housing or giving out money to help people buy a house. That's that program that we've been talking about,
Yes.
called Time to Own.
Time to Own program, which I was looking at the article yesterday. It's been around for 3.5 years now, but I talk to people about it. They're like, what's that? What's that program? So I'm trying to promote it as much as I can, but it's not a program with infinite money. It does run out from time to time. So I try to get my customers in there as soon as possible. We find a house, and once you're under contract, you can reserve your funds. But it's for Connecticut residents who have been here for at least 3 years, up to $25,000, help you pay your down payment and closing costs, which is a great help. A lot of the barrier between owning a house is people affording the closing costs and the down payment.
Down payment. You know, I encourage, if you're listening to this program and sitting at home on the couch, you know someone who's looking to buy a house, you know, take that number down that you see right there, give them our number, have them give us a call. You don't know how many, I'd say probably 80% of our time is spent giving out advice.
Yes.
People calling us, and, you know, sometimes it has nothing to do with them buying a property. It may be something that they've already purchased.
My favorite question is, okay, do you already have a realtor? Oh, yeah, I have one. What are you calling me? People call for more advice. They see the show. They say, hey, those realtors know a lot more than my average realtor. And you see between the experience between both of us.
Yeah, we've been around for quite a long time. So we get a lot of other people. Hell, we have real estate agents call us.
Oh, yeah, very true.
We have real estate agents that are just starting out in the business, and you can't tell you how many will call me and ask me, they say, Charles, you know the answer to this. You've been around. What happens with this scenario?
Exactly.
Or even some of the more experienced realtors, they even call me and they ask me to pick my brain. And that's okay, because, you know, we're all in this together. We all help each other out. So I don't mind that. So, but, you know, a lot of things that are happening out there, we stay abreast of. I spend a lot of time studying things, and I serve on a lot of committees. You know, my son does a lot of classes, home buying classes, teaching people. We do a lot of teaching of people to try and encourage them, because an informed buyer is a person that is actually more relaxed, more encouraged, and knows what's going on out there and can make a better decision. If that person buys a house and they keep it and they're happy, they're going to tell other people about us. We run on most of our business on what? Referrals.
Referrals, yeah.
People just call us because, oh, so-and-so told me to give you a call, you know, or someone, a friend will call and say, hey, I want you to talk to this person. And then I'll get on the phone, the first thing they say is, yeah, this person told me you're the best one out there for me to talk to. So, you know, take advantage of us. In other words, take advantage of us.
Give a call. I mean, when you call that number, you actually get us. Some people get an answering service. Ask us some questions. Some people ask us questions about their house. We give what we call a CMA, a cost market analysis, where I will give you a report and let you know how much your house will be worth if you put it on the market. No pressure to sell. Just, it's good to have a free report. I recommend my clients get one done every 5 to 6 months.
Right. With that market analysis, what we offer is to give you an idea of what your property is worth in today's time, not what, you know, a year ago. You know, it's called a competitive market analysis. Yesterday, we were in Norwalk.
Yes,
we were in Norwalk reviewing and a property in Norwalk. Yesterday, as I just said, I was in East Haven. I had to go to East Haven. Then we had to do one with
East Haven and Norwalk in one day? What's that?
No, you know, so we go all over.
We travel, right?
You know. I was in Waterbury yesterday. Remember? And you were in Trumbull, and you were in Stratford. So, like I said, what the advantage is that where we're located, it's very convenient. Within a half an hour's distance, we could be within 50 cities.
Exactly.
So there's nothing to it. In other words, you get in the car, you put on the XM radio, and you tune into Bloomberg Report or Wall Street or CNN, or, you know, listen as you're going along. You're still educating yourself, or listening to you know, different types of programs on housing.
I recommend going on YouTube, just type in the latest news. Not everyone has XM in their car. He has that in his car. But go on YouTube, type in the latest news, listen to some free news.
Right. So this is what I do, though. Basically, by getting the XM and listening to that, then I'm able to give you the information that you're looking for.
Exactly.
So basically, that's why I say give us a call, because you can get information that from us that you would not necessarily get from anyone else.
Very true. Now, also, we want to talk about today is just what's coming up. People give us a call a lot lately. Is this a time to buy? Is this a right time to buy? I tell people every time I get this question, the right time to buy is when you're ready, when you're in a position to buy a house. As far as have you been educated? Do you know what you're getting into? A lot of people call us and want to buy multifamilies, and then we list all the things you have to do. They may question that. Say, "Wow, I got to do all that." I thought that it was easy, just rent and get the money. Not quite. We actually recommend to take a Bridgeport landlord class that goes on down every at B&T every once in a while.
Right, exactly.
If you really want to learn how to be a landlord, give us a call. We have a referral we can push you to. It's a free class, and it'll teach you how to become a landlord. And then you'll say, well, I may or may not want to be a landlord after taking this class.
Well, now is a good time to also, like I said, sell your property. We were having a discussion earlier today as to what really motivates people to sell their property. And we have a lot of different leads that we have that come in from different people. We deal a lot with probate.
A lot of probate.
We do a lot of probate, and that is where people have actually passed away and the family members live other parts of the United States, or they even may live locally, but they are not in a position to buy the property. Remember, if there's still a mortgage on the house, whatever you are going to inherit, you don't inherit it if it's not paid for.
That's a good question. That's a good thing you just said. Remember, if you have someone's house, you quit claiming to them because you want to leave it to them, they still have to pay off that mortgage. Even though it's going to be in their name, the bank still holds, the right to come and foreclose on you. People don't realize that.
A lot of people think that, okay, I'm going to put the house in my son's name. I'll put it in my daughter's name. Something happens to me, and it's their house. Remember, you can only inherit that which is paid for, that you own. So if you buy a brand new car, and you pass away next week and you say, I want my son to have that car if I pass away, well, he can have it as long as he pays off the balance.
Yeah, car note's still there.
The car note got to be paid off. You just can't. And unfortunately, a lot of people or the beneficiaries have no idea of your finances. They just assume that they get it. So what happens is that if it's still a mortgage, you get a letter from the bank saying, okay, we haven't received the payment in the last 6 months. We're foreclosing on the property. So then the property, you got two choices. Or you can sign the house back over to the bank, or you can pay it off.
Exactly.
Or you can go out and get a mortgage. It's still paying it off, but you still got to be able to have the ability to get a mortgage to pay it off. Now, if you don't make enough money, if you have only started on your job, and if you're not qualified to get a mortgage, then how are you going to pay it off unless you have the cash?
Exactly.
So it becomes a problem. That's where we come into the picture. In other words, a lot of people are in foreclosure and they have equity. That's the first thing we determine. How much is owed on the house? And how much can we sell it for? So therefore, if you owe $150,000 on the house, or your parents did, or whoever owned the house, and it can be sold for $400,000, well, that means there's $250,000 that's equity that can be realized, or you can get from that house. So why sign it back over to the bank?
Now, some people don't realize, open those letters up. I know some people see the first foreclosure letter, they move out the house, they leave it empty. Don't run away from the house. Remember, your name is kind of different. When you buy a car, you get the title after you pay it off. When you buy a house, you get the deed up front, and then you pay it off. So remember, that deed still has your name on it. Stay in the house. Get those letters. Read those letters. Go to court. Do not miss any court dates. Don't be scared. Remember, the bank isn't a big, bad bank. They'd rather not have your house. They're not landlords. They don't want to cut grass.
They don't want property.
They don't want to maintain the house. They don't want to worry about burning down stuff. They'd rather have you in there taking care of the house, maintain the house. So they want to work with you. Sometimes they may have an adjustment, or maybe they may give you an option to sell. So give us a call. We work with a lot of people who are going through foreclosure, even those who have been going through foreclosure for 3 months. They got a couple letters. Open all those up. Bring the letters to us. We usually put them in order and let you know exactly what step you are in the foreclosure.
And we can also contact the bank on your behalf. What you do is when you come in and you talk to us, we get what they call third-party authorization.
Yes.
And you sign it, you give us permission. No one can go and find your business without you giving them the permission, except unless it's something that's public knowledge at City Hall. then they can go to City Hall and look up whatever they want to look up. But as far as dealing directly with your mortgage company or your bank, that's something that you have to give permission to someone in order for them to look up those records. But there's a lot of things that people can do that they can starve off a foreclosure or take advantage of the equity within their property. And if you really want, your children to benefit if something were to happen to you, like when you buy the house, you could buy it in both of their name, both your name and their name, but originally in the deed. What some people make a mistake is they'll turn around and they just turn around and quit claim. They call it, give them an interest in the house. And you can do that, but it states in your mortgage that usually you're supposed to get the permission of the bank. If they go to foreclose on the house and they got your name there, and then all of a sudden they look on the deed and they say, well, who's this person? Where'd that person come from? We don't know. It's almost like, I compare it to when you rent an apartment, and then while you're renting the apartment, the landlord knows about you, and then you move in your cousin, your nephew, the uncle, or somebody else.
And say, who's this?
The landlord knocks on the door, and then you decide to leave. You decide to leave them all there and say, hey, you guys, I'll pay the rent, but you guys can stay here. And the landlord comes and says, well, who are all these people? I don't know who these people are. So, in other words, you can do that, but remember, it states in your lease most of the time, just get the landlord's permission, as long as he knows what's going on.
I also want to mention people who are really into foreclosure. Some people realize that they've abandoned the house and they drove by it, now it's boarded up. Remember, it's still going through the process. Give us a call. We've had people take the boards off, move back in the house, and we help them sell the house. So yeah, give us a call. No matter how far you're into this foreclosure, we can still help you. Most likely, just let us see what process. Bring the letters into our office. We'll see exactly where you're at. Because remember, the bank will like to work with you. We save a lot of people from foreclosures.
A lot of people
getting the equity out the house. Because remember, if they sell it for what it is, you may not get any equity.
And if you are having problems, just imagine what that money can do for you. It can help you build up your credit to the point of where down the road you can buy another house. You yourself can buy a house because now you've got maybe money for your down payment, money for your closing costs, pay off your bills, get back on your feet. So it could be a matter of night and day, but like my son said, you've got to take action. The worst thing you could do is sit there and do nothing. That's the worst thing we advise people. Do not do that, because if you owe somebody money and they don't hear from you, what are they to think? They only can do what the law will give them permission to do, and that's to sue you, take you to court, do all the. So but usually they give you plenty of notice before you do that. Another thing I might want to touch on here that we're finding, and we're getting a lot of conversations on, is insurance.
Yes.
The insurance companies now are going out and they're reviewing a lot of their insurance policies. Rates are going up, and a lot of people, I get a lot of calls, even though I don't sell homeowners insurance.
You get a lot of calls.
I get a lot of calls from people saying, "Oh, Mr. Scott, I bought this house 12 years ago. My insurance on the house just went up. What can I do? And can they do this and can they do that?" And I say, well, first of all, they can't do anything without sending you a notice. One person called me last week. He said, "Oh, I got a notice in the mail that my insurance has been dropped." I said, "Did they let you know?" He said, "No, I didn't get no notice." I said, "Well, I'm sure you must have gotten a notice. They don't just drop you just because."
They notify you well in advance.
Right. Not only that, the bank won't even allow that because the bank wants the house to be covered. And the bank, in the state of, there's a law, the bank has to have at least 35, 40 days, whatever notice it is, that they're going to do that, and you have to be notified. But if you are in that situation, first of all, the first thing for you to find out is read the letter. See what they're saying. In most cases, they don't just drop you. They give you a chance to rectify the situation.
I want to bring that up. Please read the letters. Or
read
how
them.
about this? If you were confused, give us a call. I mean, my father helped a woman last week. She thought she lost her mortgage. She didn't realize. She sat down, read it with him.
No.
Her mortgage is being serviced by another company.
How about that?
not drop the mortgage. She's still paying on time. She was terrified.
Remember that?
People don't realize you buy a house, you have a mortgage. Your mortgage might be sold every couple months with another servicer. So that's all. Nothing to panic about. But I realize sometimes these letters can be daunting because they see a letter in the mail, they think it could be a fine or a bill.
Well, you know, the funny thing about that letter is that sometimes people, their mind just goes blank.
Right, negative.
Just getting the letter.
Yeah.
And all it said in the letter was that the mortgage company she had was selling her mortgage to another mortgage company.
Exactly, which is common.
It's common. Mortgage companies do it. I'd be surprised if they didn't do it.
Yeah,
all
right?
mortgage companies,
Especially if it's FHA, it's guaranteed they're going to sell it.
So I said to her, read me the letter. And it said, going forward within the next 30 days, you will receive a letter from XYZ mortgage company as we are selling your mortgage. And it then went to say, you do not have to do anything at this time as everything will continue. And I said, what did you just say? I said, read that again. I had to read it 3 times. And I said, so what's that mean? Did you hear what they said? They said, you don't have to do anything. But her mind shot on that first line. We're selling a mortgage.
Selling your mortgage.
So automatically you think, they're taking my house from me. I said, no, just read the letter and understand what it said.
Exactly.
So I said, there's nothing to worry about. I said, take the letter, file the letter, and that's the end of that. And when you get a letter from that company, don't ignore it, because if you don't pay that mortgage, then they're going to say you're late. Send it to the company that they told you, or call the mortgage company up if you really have any doubt, and talk to them and have them explain this to you. But you don't have to do anything. Everything goes as normal.
I want to say, people, when you get a house, you're going to get a lot of mail. You're going to get a lot of solicitation from insurance companies, coupons, everything. Open it all, just because you never know. Like, what if she ignored that letter right there? She wouldn't know about her new mortgage coming in the mail. She'll miss a mortgage payment.
You hit a point there that really is a sore spot with me.
What's that? Oh, yeah.
I open all mail. And me, of all people, would say, well, you know what mail to open, what mail not to open.
Open it all.
You never know what's in there. Open it up. At least give them a chance to talk to you. And if you're not interested, then throw it away or keep what you keep. But I get some people, they just throw it. Every mail they get, throw it away. It could be you've hit the lottery for $50,000 and the what's that? The people use
Publishers
Clearinghouse. They say they throw it in the garbage. How many people do you hear in the lottery that people have unclaimed lottery? What, the state of Connecticut has a whole full page of unclaimed money. Unclaimed money. People afraid of getting their own money. So be knowledgeable. The letter can't hurt you. Just open it. If you don't like it, throw it away.
Exactly.
But our time is running out here, because we could talk about this for a long time.
Give us a call, like I said before.
Give us a call. There's our number.
All right. And until next time.
God bless.
Amen.